Here you go. Need anything else? Okay.
Thank you.
You bet. So like I told you, my name's Samantha. My name's Samantha Lindbergs. I'm a detective with the police department. I work in the Crimes Against Children unit. Here's my card. All right. And we were called out today to help with Elijah's case. Okay, and I'll be honest, I have no idea what your relationship is to him or what's going on, so we're going to talk about all that. Okay. So first of all, I'm very sorry. I'm sorry that you have to be here today. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry we have to intrude on that grieving, but we're really just here to help Elijah. We really are. And I'm aware that there's been some issues down in Florida. I've already been in touch with Florida, working with them 100%. Okay. And so everything's going well with that. Okay? All right. The other thing I want to let you know is I'm a detective. You're at a police station. You're not in custody.
Okay.
You're free to go anytime you want. I really just want to talk to you, though, and get some information.
Okay.
And figure out what happened.
Okay.
Okay? And if you have any questions, ask me.
Okay.
Okay? I'll answer them if I have the answer.
Okay.
Sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay. Well, first of all, I just have to figure out who you are.
I'm Chastity. Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Okay.
80916.
Okay. And do you have a home phone there?
I do. Well, actually a cell phone.
Okay. Give me your cell.
No, just go to school.
Where do you go to school at?
And I just registered for my classes at Pikes Peak.
Good. What are you going to be doing?
Right now, my major is undeclared, so I'm just taking classes.
Oh, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
You know? So you're way ahead of a lot of people out there.
Mm.
So any ideas what you think you might want to go into?
I was thinking about doing nursing, but I don't think I want to do that anymore.
It's a good career field, though. I mean, a lot of opportunities and high demand.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty good field to get a job in.
Right.
So, but you got to have the right temperament for it.
Yes.
I'm not a big medical person.
No.
You know, I can take care of my kids and stuff, but other than that, I'm like, doctors do their thing, nurses do their thing, and I stand in the background. So, but there's lots of stuff to decide from.
Yeah,
so.
there is. So, I don't know.
All right. Well, you're pretty young, though, too, so you've got some time to decide. And who lives with you at this Carmel Drive address?
I can't even get my words out. I actually stay in Texas, but I came back out here. I've been a resident here since 2005.
Okay.
Because my mom was stationed here. She moved to Texas like a couple of years ago. So I had moved out there and I came back here because my kids are here.
Okay.
And I had to take care of some stuff.
So you became a resident out here in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom was stationed Army?
Mm-hmm.
Fort Carson?
Stationed at Fort Carson.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the most popular one, so that's how I usually get it right. When did you guys move back to Texas?
Well, she left before I did. I actually stayed because I was engaged to my daughter's dad.
Okay.
And that was like, I say around like 2000, the ending of 2008 when she left.
Okay. And when did you leave?
I actually just left recently, like a couple of months ago.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like transitioning out there.
How long is your plan to stay here or stay in Texas?
I don't know yet. Right now I'm kind of going through a custody case with my youngest, so whenever that closes.
Can I make a decision then?
Yeah.
So tell me, 2012, what months were you here and what months were you in Texas?
I left here May 15th, a couple days before my daughter's birthday, and I came back, I believe, the beginning of August, so not that long.
Okay. So you've been here about a month?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And who do you live with at the Carmel Drive address?
Felicia and Rose, her husband.
What's Felicia's last name?
Lubin.
Lubin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what's Rose's?
Rose is his last name.
Okay.
I can't say his first name. I think it's like Francois, something like that.
Okay. And are they married?
They are.
Okay. And do they have any children?
Together, no, but she has another daughter that's like 6.
Okay. So, Felicia has a daughter that's 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Elijah.
Mm-hmm.
Does she have any other children?
No.
And Elijah's 4, right?
Right.
Okay. And how about Rose? Does he have any of his own kids?
No.
And do you have any kids that are staying with you at this address?
No.
Okay.
My oldest is out in Texas with my mom. She started kindergarten. And my youngest that I'm going through the custody case with is actually here in Colorado Springs.
Okay. So you have 2
Mm-hmm.
girls?
2
boys?
girls.
2 girls? Okay.
And they're 5 and 3.
Okay. What are their names?
Adriana and Gabriella.
Pretty. I like the Gabriella. I think that's really pretty.
Thank you.
So the Colorado Springs one is the one that's the custody issue right
Mhm.
now? Okay.
She was actually in Texas with me, but I didn't know that a law saying that if you have a case open like that you couldn't leave the state with the child. So they actually, the cops actually came to my mom's house and told me I had to return her back to Colorado.
Okay.
So
She came back. Now you're
the
dealing with
dad
that
picked
one?
her up
Okay.
and brought her back here. So
Okay. Okay. And then, okay, so at this Carmel Drive address, it's yourself, Felicia, Rose. Any of the kids living there with you guys?
no.
Okay. What about her oldest daughter? What's her oldest daughter's name?
Sade.
Sade?
Sade.
How do you spell that? Any idea?
I think she spells it Sadre.
Okay. And that's, I think you said 6-year-old?
Yes.
Does she live there?
She does, but I think she went to go visit Felicia's mom.
Do you know when that was?
I have no clue. I don't know when that was.
Let me ask you this. You've been back since the beginning of August. Has Sade been there since you've been there?
No. The last time I talked to her, I think she said that when I was getting ready to leave to go to Texas, I think Sade was getting ready to go to her grandma's, which is Felicia's mom.
Okay, so back in May possibly she went out there and hasn't been
probably.
back. Okay.
No.
Okay, so she hasn't been at the house since you've been there?
She hasn't.
Okay. And then my understanding is that Elijah just came back. Tell me about that.
We were at a friend's house. The dad was supposed to come pick him up for the summer. He flew into Denver. We picked him up. They took a bus back, and I think a couple of weeks after that, I had left to go to Texas, and then she called me towards the end of May and was like that Elijah was in the hospital, and I asked her what happened, and she told me that she don't know what happened. So when she actually got there, she told me that he had abused him and that he was on life support, and that she didn't know if he was going to make it. And I was like, okay. So she was down there in Florida for about, let's say, about like a month and a half.
That's
he was in the
Felicia,
hospital,
right?
Felicia, yeah. Because he was in the hospital for a very long time.
Okay.
And then I guess as he got better and was able to breathe on his own a little bit, not being able to have to be on life support, they transferred him over here to Memorial Children's Pediatrics. And then everything was going good, and then they released him on the 13th of, I believe, this is what, September now, of August. And he came home, and he had nurses that come in the daytime and at nighttime to watch him. And since he was home, he was good. There was no problems, nothing. He was actually starting to open up his eyes more, move around. He was actually progressing very well. For him to have severe brain damage, he was doing really good. And then we checked on him this morning around 7. We were all, me, Rose, and Felicia, we were all up talking because we were still up. And we went to check on him. And then I went back and checked on him around like at 10. I actually went to the restroom and then walked out there.
I'm sorry, what time did you say, hon?
10.
10, okay.
And she had fed him.
Felicia had?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I think she was getting ready to give his medicine about 10:30. But I went to the bathroom at 10, and then I came out, and I always go in the living room to check on him, see what he's doing. And he wasn't moving. His lips were like pale. There was puke all over his face. And I just started screaming, and I told her to come in. And then I dialed 911 right away. And he was telling me to tell her things, how to try to revive him. But everything we tried, it just didn't work. I don't know how long it was when he threw up, or
Okay.
I have no clue. It was just kind of strange because we had just checked on him,
Okay.
and he was fine. His eyes was open, and then like all of a sudden he just stopped breathing. I don't know if maybe he had a stomach ache or was full, and he just needed to burp. But he had a trach right here.
Okay.
So he wasn't able to he's not able to swallow like we can.
Mm-hmm.
And we looked in the paramedic on the phone was like to look in his trach to make sure there's no puke or nothing in there. It was dry, there was nothing in there. And she had suctioned him this morning because it kind of sounded like he was kind of congested just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing came out of there, and he was still fine. And I was just like, I don't know
Okay.
what made him throw up. I don't know
Okay.
what made him puke.
We're going to go over that a little bit more, if that's okay. What is your relationship to Felicia and Rose?
I've been friends with her forever since like middle school.
Okay. So you're just good friends?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're really close.
Okay. And you've been staying with her since you've been back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I have.
Okay. So you go to Texas,
Mm-hmm.
and at that point, Elijah's gone to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know his biological father?
I do know that was my first time ever meeting him.
Back in May.
Right, when we went to go pick him up from the airport in Denver.
Do you know his name?
I don't know, his name is Wilford.
Okay.
I don't know what his last name is.
And so you guys pick him up in May up at Denver. DIA?
Mm-hmm. Denver Airport.
And who goes to pick him up?
Me and Felicia. I don't know if we had the kids with us or not. I think we did. I think we had Sade and we did. We had Sade and Elijah.
Okay, Sade and Elijah. So it's the four of you?
Mm-hmm.
And you guys pick him up, and then what do you do?
She drove. I drove back from Denver.
Okay.
Then we stopped and got something to eat, and then we went over to a friend's house on Post.
All of you together?
Mm-hmm.
Now, did Felicia get along with Wilford pretty good?
I don't. That part I really don't know. I have no clue because that was my first time ever even seeing him in person.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Did they seem to get
how
along
often.
pretty well?
They didn't argue or anything like
Okay.
that when we were there. He seemed pretty calm. He wasn't mad. He was actually excited about coming to get him and take him home with him.
Okay.
So I don't know what made him go ballistic like that.
Yeah. So he comes in, you guys drive back to Colorado Springs, go see some friends on Post. How long does he stay here?
I think he stayed for 3 days maybe, because they caught the bus back. Him and Elijah caught the bus back.
And for those 3 days, where did he stay?
He was staying at our friend's house on Post.
Okay, he didn't stay with you guys?
No.
When he was here on Post, did Elijah stay with you guys or with him?
He stayed with us.
Okay. Okay, so Elijah stays with you. He stays with friends on Post
Mhm.
for about 3 days.
Mhm.
And then him and Elijah catch the bus back.
Right, we take them to the bus stop.
Now, during that time, and I'll get to today here in a little bit. During that time, did you see Elijah interacting with his dad?
Mm-hmm.
And how did that go?
From my point of view, it went really good. He was being playful.
The dad was, or?
They both were.
Okay.
I didn't see any like tension or anybody being aggressive or angry, anything like that. Just he was just acting like a normal kid would act around their parents.
Now, did it seem like Elijah knew who his dad was?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He did.
So he knew who this man was?
Right.
Okay. Anytime you saw anything inappropriate go on between Elijah and his father?
Nope, not at all.
Did you ever see his father discipline him?
No.
Okay. Ever see anybody, so anything during those 3 days when you're
I
around?
didn't see nothing strange.
Nothing strange?
Nothing at all.
Okay. And then when's the last time you see Elijah before the incident with his dad?
The last time I saw him was when we were getting ready to take them both to the bus stop. I don't remember what the date was, but that was my last time seeing him. And then we talked to him on the phone, I think the next day or the next couple of days. I talked to him on the phone.
Okay. When you last see him, how is he?
He was fine. He was talking up a storm.
Any injuries, anything like that?
No injuries.
He can walk, talk, everything like that?
Yep, he was walking, talking, playing.
Any medical conditions I need to be aware of with Elijah?
Not that I know of, no.
Okay. So no medical conditions at that time?
Nothing.
Okay. Pretty happy, healthy 4-year-old little boy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Delayed in any way? Okay. Okay. So you don't see anything inappropriate when you guys, when you're here with the dad and Elijah. Nothing inappropriate. Don't ever see him discipline him.
Nope. Never.
Nothing strange. Nothing that red flags go up or anything like that.
Nothing at all.
Nothing to concern you. Okay.
Nothing.
And then you guys take him to the bus stop. They catch the bus back to Florida.
And then they text us. I think their bus got delayed like a little bit. And then he texts Felicia, and then he called so we could talk to Elijah. But he didn't sound like there was anything wrong.
Okay. And then you go to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And while you're in Texas, Felicia calls you and tells you what happened.
Right.
When that incident happened in Texas, in Florida, where was Felicia?
Here.
Okay, in Colorado. So she wasn't down there when that happened. Okay. And then she goes to Florida.
Right.
And tells you
the
that.
same day.
Oh, okay. To get down there. Okay.
Right.
After you see Wilfred and you take him to the bus stop, do you have any contact with him after that?
No. I think the only time that I ever, I've never really talked to him ever, besides just talking to Elijah. I don't have his number.
Okay.
He would just call Felicia's phone, and that's how we were able to talk to Elijah, but I never held a conversation with him or call him or anything like that.
Okay. So he would call Felicia's phone, and then you guys would be able to talk to Elijah through that.
Mm-hmm.
But you never had a conversation with him.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So have you had any real contact with him since you took him to the bus stop?
No.
Okay.
Now, even when we picked him up in Denver, I didn't even talk to him.
Really? In those 3 days he was here?
He's said hey, and that was about it. I really don't, because that was my first time ever seeing him or meeting him, so I just really kind of like kept to myself.
Okay. So no in-depth conversations getting to know each other?
No.
Okay. Okay. And then you come back, so we have this incident occurring with Elijah.
Mm-hmm.
What does Felicia tell you happened to Elijah?
She told me that his daddy abused him, but she didn't have all like the details just yet.
Okay.
So then when she called me back, she was like that he was saying that he fell out of the window. Then she said that the dad said that he hit his head on the toilet or the sink or something. And then she actually, I guess when she actually got all the details, she told me that he had bashed his head into the wall or something. She said somehow that it started from the kitchen to somewhere else. So
he bashed his head in the wall, and it started in the kitchen?
Mm-hmm.
And went to somewhere else?
Yeah, I don't know where else they ended up. I'm thinking she said bathroom, but I'm not quite sure.
You said something about blood?
Yeah, she said there was his head was wrapped up in towels, and that he was unresponsive, and that I think she said there was blood on the floor or something.
Okay. Did you ever go to Florida at that time?
No.
You stayed in Texas?
I stayed in Texas.
Okay. So she's down in Florida. And when does Felicia come back to Colorado?
I want to say like, I don't know if it was in like July or August. I'm not quite sure. But I know she got back here before I did.
Okay.
So I don't remember when she actually got here.
Okay. Was she down there for some time?
I think she was down there for like a month or so.
Okay. And when she comes back, does she bring Elijah with her?
I think they flew
Together?
They flew together. They got transported straight to Memorial.
Okay. Okay, so then they transfer him straight to Memorial.
Right.
Okay. And that's where he was at that time.
Until he got discharged from there.
And when was that again? I'm sorry.
I think it was August the 13th.
So you were here at that time then?
I was here.
Okay. When you come back, I think you said beginning of August, do you see him at all in the hospital?
I did. We went there the day that I got here. We went there. We spent the night there. Basically, we were going there. I was going there with her every day or every time she needed to go there. We would go and sit for maybe 6-7 hours. We didn't have nothing else to do, so we just sit up there all day.
Okay. So you'd go there with her whenever she needed to go, sometimes every day for 6-7 hours to be with him? Okay. And how was he doing in the hospital at that time?
He was doing really good.
Okay. Could he talk?
No.
Was he awake?
He was starting to open his eyes a little bit.
Okay.
But when he actually got home, he started actually opening them more.
Okay. Could he walk at all?
No.
Okay. Was he?
He was bedridden.
Bedridden. Okay. My understanding is he has to be fed through a tube.
Through a G tube, through his stomach.
Okay. Okay. Was he in the pediatric unit up there, or?
He was.
Okay. Okay. So he's flown back here, and then they decide to discharge him.
Right.
And I'm sorry, tell me again.
August 13th.
Okay. And that's when he comes home.
Right.
And then what kind of, you said he had nurses coming in and out?
He had nurses. He had a nurse from 8:30 to 4:30, I think.
Okay.
And then the night nurse comes in at 9, and she gets off at 7.
Okay.
In the morning.
So from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. there's a nurse, and then from 9 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Right.
Okay.
And then from that little big window from 5 to the next nurse get there, he's home with us until the next nurse comes.
Okay. So there's just a couple hours in there where you guys take care?
Right.
Okay. Now, do you know where these nurses come from? What agency they're from?
MGA.
MGA?
I think it's home health care or something like that.
Okay. And are you aware that when they come in, did they do any documentation?
They do. They keep a book,
Okay.
a little folder where they write all their notes and stuff in.
Where's that book at?
I believe it's on the table. That's where they usually leave it, at the table at the house.
Okay.
It's like a little black, little thick notebook.
Black notebook?
Or a binder, whatever you want to call it.
Is it like a 3-ring binder or like a spiral notebook?
It's like a 3-ring binder. It's
Okay.
black. On the front of it has their little agency logo on the front.
And are they pretty consistent? Have you looked in that book? Are they pretty consistent in keeping it updated?
Yeah, they are on top of their stuff.
Okay, so they're on top of it. Good. Okay. What kind of care was he receiving from the nurses? What would they do for him?
They would make sure he get his feedings.
Okay.
On Tuesdays, I think every Tuesday, his trach had to be changed. They were checking his temperature, make sure he didn't have fevers, giving him a bath. giving him his meds, interacting with him, talk, even though he can't talk, but he can still hear.
Okay.
So they would talk to him, let him watch TV, put on some cartoons. Sometimes they'll sit him in his little wheelchair to keep him sit up just a little bit. That's about it. Changed his diapers, brushed his teeth, combed his hair.
Okay. Okay. And was this every day of the week the nurses would come in?
They were there. They're there Monday through Friday, except the night nurse don't come on Friday nights. She just worked Monday through Thursday.
No night nurse Friday nights. Why's that?
I have no clue why not.
Okay. And then how about the weekends?
No nurse on weekends.
Okay. So then it's all up to you guys?
Me and Felicia.
So no nurses at all?
No
So
nurses.
today was there a nurse at all?
No. What's today? Saturday?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No nurses.
When was the last nurse there?
Yesterday, and she got off at 4:30.
Do you know who that was?
Jean. There's Jean and there's Jen.
Jean and Jen.
Jean and Jennifer, so they both starts with J's.
Yeah, and Jean was the one last there?
That was there last.
Okay. Okay. What I want to do is kind of walk through now what happened. I'm going to start last night, actually, since, like, when the nurse left. That's
Okay.
a perfect ending point, because I can get her documentation and stuff and talk to her. So tell me what you guys did last night after the nurse left, or around 4:30.
We checked Elijah to see if he needed his diaper changed. And then he wasn't wet or anything like that. So we just turned on like a cartoon and just let him watch TV. And I think she propped up the bed just a little bit.
Okay.
Because it wasn't time for him to get his next feeding or his medication for seizures, not until 6 o'clock.
Okay.
So he was just, we were just sitting in there and just talking, and that was about it. We just talked. It was really not too much. And then he was sleeping most of the time. He actually fell asleep for a while.
Now let me ask you this, and I'm sorry to interrupt you. Where does he stay?
He has a bed. He actually sleeps out in the living room, and he has like a hospital bed that was in there.
Okay. Is that where he stayed most of the time?
Mm-hmm.
In that hospital?
Unless she put him in his wheelchair.
Okay. So he'd either be in that hospital bed in the living room or in his wheelchair.
Right. And I think she normally put him in a wheelchair when he's like wide awake and just not sleeping, because most of the time he'd be sleeping in his bed.
Okay.
Unless the therapist lady come over there to do therapy with him.
Okay. Okay, so you guys are hanging out, nurse is gone, you put some cartoons on, it's not time for his medicine yet, hanging out, just talking, watching cartoons.
That's about it.
And what'd you guys do after that?
It turned 6. We started getting his stuff ready at like 5:50, the water and the tube to flush the medicine down. Once we put the medicine into his G-tube, and went ahead and poured the milk inside the little bag for the machine to run it. Right, that we gave him his medicine. So we gave him his medicine, flushed him with water, hooked this thing, the little red thing to click. I don't even know what these things called, but stick it inside this tube and hit the button for the milk to run. And
Are you guys feeding him milk? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he was drinking like Ensure,
Okay.
that type of milk, and it was coming through like a little tube. Kind of was like a little IV, kind of like.
Okay.
And then he ate his food, and then I changed his diaper, and after he was done eating, the machine beeped, turned it off, and flushed him with water, and then that was it. And he was sitting up looking at TV. And he didn't seem like there was nothing wrong or if he was like in any pain, even though he wasn't able to like actually say it or show it. We use normally when we know when he's like kind of gassy, like his stomach gets like really big and kind of tight. So that's how sometimes we could tell if he got a stomach ache or anything like that. But he didn't have none of that going on yesterday. So I don't know what could have caused him to throw up. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe his stomach was hurting or he was full, or I don't know. That's the only thing that I could think.
I don't know. We'll find out more over the next few days. So that's why we're all here, is to help with that.
Right.
Because we'd like to know too. So he's sitting up looking at the TV and he seems like nothing's wrong. So I'm taking it he seems pretty normal. This is his normal behavior.
Moving around, trying to move his head because he only likes to sleep on his left side. He hates sleeping on his right side. And he was just looking around, looking at TV.
Okay. And how long does he do that for?
He probably do it for like an hour. Then he'll knock out. It's like every time he gets full or he's done eating, he takes a long nap like a bear, hibernating.
So what time does he go to sleep?
Normally he actually just there's really not really a time. He just falls asleep whenever.
Okay. So tell me what happens last night then.
Then
he falls asleep?
He falls asleep. And what did she do last night? Because it wasn't time for his next feeding until like, I don't know if it was this morning. I don't know if she feeds him at night. She says she does, but I've never fed him at nighttime.
When's the last feeding he usually gets?
The last feeding, I couldn't even tell you when his last feeding is. Because I only normally just do it between, because she goes to school Monday through Thursday. So she has to be to school at 6. So I watch him from 6 until the next nurse get there.
Okay.
So I normally, that's all that I do, is that one feed.
Okay. And then the nurse takes over.
And then she takes over.
And then on the weekends, who watches him at nighttime?
She does.
Okay.
She does all the feedings and giving him the medicine and stuff. I just clean up after him and change diapers every now and then.
Okay. Have you seen her give him like a later feeding past 6? I mean,
I don't know. I don't think so. I'm not quite sure. I don't think so, though.
Okay. So last night you guys feed him his milk and stuff and give him his meds and flush him, and he falls asleep.
He falls asleep, and then I think we was up at like 7. We went to go check on him.
This morning at 7?
Mm-hmm. We were up.
Did you guys stay up all night, or?
We stayed up all night long,
Why?
talking and playing cards, because nobody was tired.
So you stayed all night long. And who's there at the apartment with you guys last night?
Just me, Felicia, and Rose.
The 3 of you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You guys are talking and playing cards?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have to ask some questions, and I'm not being interrogated. Were you guys drinking at all?
No.
Any illegal drug use?
No.
Okay. Anything else going on?
No, we were just bored.
Okay.
There was really nothing that we can do because we have him, so can't go anywhere.
Okay.
So I was like, maybe we should just play cards or something.
So you guys hang out and stay up all night long?
Not every night, but last night we did.
Okay.
I don't know why, but now I'm tired.
Have you had any sleep?
Just like I tried to take a cat nap, but that didn't work.
Okay. So you guys stay up all night long. And does he have any issues throughout the night, Elijah?
Nope, everything, he was fine. He was just sleeping. And then,
Okay. And you check on him, I think you said at 7, or he wakes up at 7, or what?
I think he's supposed to have his, he has a morning feed, he has to take medication in the morning, but I don't know what time.
Okay.
But I went to go check on him first, and he was fine. And then she went to go, I think she gave him a feeding. I don't know what time his morning feedings are. And then she gave him his medication.
What time do you check on him?
I'll probably go in the living room probably like every 15 minutes.
Was he in their room or was he in the living room?
He sleeps in the living room in a hospital bed.
Okay.
So
you said you had to go in to check on him, though.
I was in her room.
Oh, okay.
I was in there watching TV because we don't never watch TV in the living room.
Okay.
We just keep it on for him.
Okay.
So when he wakes up, there's something that he can watch on TV.
So it sounds to me like you kind of reversed the rooms. Like you guys hang out in the bedroom because he's out in the living room. So you've kind of made that the bedroom and this is more the living room, or just where you guys hang out, or?
That's just where we just hang out.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes we're in the living room, but because he's in there, we have to constantly keep the air running so it doesn't be hot.
Yeah.
In there where he's at, and it gets extremely cold.
Okay.
But most of the time, sometimes we are actually in the living room, and we just sit in there and just talk.
Okay.
Or sit in there and talk to the nurse through the weekdays.
So when you guys were playing cards and stuff last night, where were you?
We were at the table in the living room.
So you were in the
kitchen,
them?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you go into the bedroom for a while?
We went in there to, what did we want to do? Oh, I think she had asked me to braid her hair, but I didn't never braid it. And we sat in there and talked for a little bit. Then we went back in there, and then.
Is that when you check on him?
Mm-hmm.
Is that around 7?
Mm-hmm. And everything was fine. There was nothing wrong with him.
Was he awake, asleep?
He was actually, you could say he was somewhat kind of asleep, but not really. Like one of his eyes was like open, and the other one was like kind of shut. But he was breathing, licking his lips.
Was he making any type of noise?
He don't never make.
Never makes noise?
He never makes noise.
So one of his eyes is kind of open, one is kind of shut. He's licking his lips.
Mm-hmm.
Any other movement?
Moving his leg, his left leg. He always moves that one more than his right leg.
Okay.
And he moves his hands.
So when you check on him at 7, he's okay. He's breathing,
fine.
His eyes a little bit open, he's moving. Do you see any concerns with him at that time?
Nope, nothing was wrong.
Okay. And then so you see him at 7, when's the next time you see him?
Then I go back in the room, and then she comes out to give him his feeding and give him his medicine. And then I think she made her something to eat, and she sat out there for a little bit. And then I came to use the bathroom. Then I came back out, and I always just go in there just to go bother him and see what he's doing, because he doesn't like it when I bother him at all. He like gives me like this weird look, like leave me alone. And he just had puke everywhere. And I was like, oh my God, he just threw up everywhere. And I was yelling and screaming to get Felicia, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's not breathing. I don't know what happened. I was like, what happened? And like the smell was like it smelled like milk.
Okay. Let me, I'm going to slow you down just a little bit. So you come out of the bathroom. What time, and you come back to kind of give him a hard time.
Mm-hmm.
What time is that?
I went to the bathroom around 10.
Okay.
Then I came out and walked straight into the living room.
How long do you think you were in the bathroom for?
Not long, probably no more than about like 5 or 10 minutes.
Okay. And you come out, and so was he in the bed or wheelchair?
He was in his bed.
Okay. Laying on his back?
Yep, he was laying on his back, but the bed was kind of like propped up a little bit.
Propped up how?
It wasn't propped up like really high. You know how like you can move the bed to sit the top part up just a little bit.
Okay.
It was just elevated just a little bit, but not a lot.
Okay.
They normally, like the nurses normally prop it up just a little bit, so he doesn't be laying straight back while he's eating.
Okay. So the bed's propped up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He's on his back.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Felicia?
She when I came out of the bathroom, she was eating. She was getting ready to go into the bathroom. She didn't even use the bathroom because I was screaming and yelling, telling her to come out. And she had picked him up, and she put before she picked him up, she had like this little oxygen thing. I think it was like the one that you do by hand.
Okay.
And she tried to put that on him, and she couldn't get it to go on there good enough. And then I was on the phone with 911, and they was asking me what happened. They told me to tell her to pick him up off the bed and place him on the floor. And they was like to take out his trach and close his mouth and hold his nose to breathe through his mouth or something like that. And we did everything that they said, and nothing.
Okay. So he's in the bed, propped up a little bit. She's eating. Where's she eating at?
At the table. The table is kind of close. Well, it's not really close to where he's laying at, but it's close enough.
Okay. But she doesn't seem to have noticed that he's thrown up?
No, this was before.
I'm sorry. This is when you went into the bathroom?
Yeah, when she when she was eating at the table, she had been in the living room since she gave him his feed and his medication. But at that time he was still fine.
Okay.
And then I went to the bathroom. She was still at the table, and I came back out, and she walked in there, but I don't know if she looked over there or not, but he had puke like everywhere.
And she hadn't seen that?
No, she was in the bathroom. I don't think she's seen it. I think her back was kind of like turned. So I was like, Felicia, get in here. He's throwing up everywhere. And like right then I knew he wasn't moving because his lips was like pale looking.
Okay. Let's talk about that a little bit. What did the puke look like?
It was kind of thick, kind of like brownish, like a brownish color.
Okay.
It smelled awful. And the only thing that I could think of that it smelled like was Ensure.
Okay. And where was the puke?
It was on he has this little pillow thing that they keep behind his head because he had like a really big bed sore in the back of his head.
Okay.
To keep pressure off of it. I think it was on the pillow, and I know it was like all right here.
All over his face and neck?
It was everywhere.
What was he wearing in bed?
I think he had like a green, I wouldn't even say, like, it was like a green, but not like a loud green. Maybe like a forest green shirt.
Okay.
And I believe he had on tan pants with white socks.
Okay. Did any of that get on his clothing?
I believe it got on his shirt because they took all his, when the paramedics came in, they took all his clothes and everything off.
Okay. So where would those clothes be at now?
The shirt, last time I saw it before we left out, it was on the bed. So I don't know if they took that or...
And how about his pants?
I don't know where his pants were. Okay. Everything was like happened like so fast.
Yeah, it does. So he's vomited all over himself and the pillow and his clothes.
You can just like when I came out, you can like smell it. He had just pooped too, and there was like dirty there from the church going on. And I walked over there, and as soon as I got close, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this stinks!" And then I actually was gonna clean him up, but then like he wasn't like moving, and I put my ear to his chest to listen, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's not breathing. So that's when I started calling for her. And
how long do you think you listened for?
For probably about like, I would say about 5 or 10 minutes, and I was like, he's not breathing.
So
and then I was trying to feel for a pulse, but I couldn't find anything.
Okay.
So I just went ahead and hurry up and call 911. Okay. And I was like, I was panicking. I was so scared because I've never seen like anything like that before.
Okay. So you said he had just pooped too. Had he just pooped then, or he had pooped earlier?
I think he pooped earlier when she changed his pamper.
Okay.
And it was in the trash can.
So that was still smelling up the area?
Yeah, I could smell it.
And then when you saw that he had puked, you were going to clean him up?
Until I was going to clean him up until like I didn't see him moving.
And then you
or
listened?
breathing. And then I listened, and I was like, he's not breathing. And that's when I started yelling, calling for her. And I told her to get the house phone, give it to me so I can call 911. And she started trying to give him CPR.
Okay.
And they were like, the paramedics would be there any minute. And
so he's not moving. You put your ear to his chest, and you actually listen for 5 to 10 minutes?
And I didn't hear anything.
Okay. And what's he look like at that point?
He looked, his tongue was hanging out. He had a little bit of blood right here from his trach. I don't know why it was bleeding right there. I have no clue why it was bleeding, but it was
How much blood do you think was around his trach?
Not a whole lot, but you could tell that it was bleeding. And then
is that normal? Has he had issues with his trach bleeding before? Ever seen that before?
Never, no.
Okay.
And he his lips, his tongue was like hanging out just a little bit like this.
Okay, just a little bit. Okay.
Just a little bit, and his lips were like kind of like pale looking. It kind of looked like they were like not white, like an off-white kind of light. I don't know if that's what happened when people pass or not, but I know his upper body was cold and his lower body was still warm.
How do you know that?
Oh, we felt him.
Why did you feel him?
I don't know what I just did.
Okay. So he was cold to the touch up top, but warm
here,
down below?
Like from here to here, he was cold. And then from his waist on down, he was warm. Okay. I don't know why I did that, but I did it anyway.
And when you checked to see how he felt, where did you feel him at?
I felt his face, his forehead, his hands were like cold.
Okay.
And then I started feeling his legs, and I was like, well, maybe he's trying to respond, I guess. I don't know.
When you feel this stuff, are you feeling above the clothes or under the clothes?
Under the clothes. And then I was feeling over on his hands, but his hands were cold too. So
okay. So when you're feeling his face and forehead, that's on the skin?
And then I don't know if the paramedics took his pants off or if she took his pants off. I don't know if he slept with him, but I know he had on tan pants. Okay. And his lower body was warm.
Okay. So when you feel his legs, are his pants on or off?
I'm thinking they were off. But I know he had on tan pants. She mustn't put them back on him, but he did have on tan pants. He did have on tan pants at one point. Yeah, so she probably took them off, but everything was like happened so fast. It was just like, I don't know.
How about his eyes? Did you notice anything?
His eyes were closed.
Both of them? Okay. And just his overall coloring?
Normal.
Okay.
Normal coloring.
Okay. Is he making any noises? Okay.
No movement, no noises, nothing. Okay. He's just laying there.
Okay. So you see him, he's thrown up, a little bit of blood around his trach. Do you see blood anywhere else?
I didn't see blood anywhere else. I know that I thought maybe the blood came from when the guy on the phone, when I was talking to him on 911, told me to tell her to take the trach out to give him chest compressions. And I thought maybe that's the reason why it was bleeding, but they always change his trach on Tuesdays. The nurses do. Every Tuesday it has to be changed with a new one, and it never bleeds.
So why was it bleeding this time?
I have no clue why it was bleeding. That was strange.
Now, did you see it bleeding before that you guys took the trach out or after?
When she took it out, it started bleeding.
Okay, so it's when she's taking the trach out it starts bleeding. So prior to that, when you first find him,
it wasn't bleeding. No.
Okay.
We even looked in there to see if there was vomit in there. Like they told us to look inside to make sure there wasn't clogged up. It was nothing in there. It was dry. Okay. And then when he told me to tell her to take it out, it started bleeding a little bit, which is not normal because when the nurses do it never bleeds on Tuesdays because every Tuesday they change his trach. Okay. And I watch and it never bleeds. So I don't know why this time.
I don't either.
I don't know.
But it doesn't start bleeding until she takes the trach out.
Until she takes the trach out. Okay.
So you listen for 5 to 10 minutes. You've described him for me. You call Felicia to get back in there. She lifts him up out of bed.
She first she takes the little oxygen pump thing that they gave her.
Okay.
It's green, and she tries to give him oxygen. And then I was talking to the guy on the 911 call, and he told me to pick him up and put him on the floor, lay him flat on his back.
Okay.
And he told me to tell her to take out the trach, hold his nose, and close his mouth. And we did everything he said to do over and over.
Did he tell you to give mouth to mouth?
Mm-hmm.
And did she?
She did. And
did she give it to his mouth or to his trach?
She did it to the trach first.
Okay.
And then that's when he told us to take the trach out. But
and then once you take the trach out, where did she do mouth to mouth?
Mm-hmm.
And where did she do it to?
What did she do it to? I think she did it to his mouth.
Okay.
I know she did it because I was holding his nose for her while she would blow in his mouth. But everything that he told us to do, is just nothing worked.
Okay. Did you guys do chest compressions at all?
Mm-hmm. She did chest compressions, and nothing still didn't work.
Did you do any of the CPR?
No.
Okay.
I know how to do it, but I let her do that while I stayed on the phone.
You were providing the instructions from the 911 operator. Okay. Kind of the middleman there. That's pretty normal. Okay. And where's Rose during all this?
He's at work.
Oh, okay. What time did he go to work?
I think he had to be there at 8.
So what time did he leave?
Around like 7, probably about 7:30, 7:45.
Where's he work at?
He works at Crown Plaza.
Oh, okay. What's he do?
He's a cook.
Oh, okay. So he wasn't there when this happened?
No.
So when this happened,
actually calling him.
Oh, were you? Okay. Did you call him first or after 911?
No, I call him after the 911, after the paramedics and everybody is already there.
Okay. Okay. And when you call 911, what phone do you use?
I use the house phone.
Do you have a house phone there then?
Yeah, she has one. I thought you meant my own personal house phone. I was like, no, I have my own personal
Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, what's the house phone number there?
I think it's like 344-8176.
Okay.
I think that's what it is.
But you use the home phone there to call 911?
911.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you use your cell phone at all to call 911?
No, I didn't use my cell phone at all to call 911.
Okay. How about to call him?
To call Rose, I did.
Okay. Okay. And who's your provider?
Cricket.
Okay. So who's home when this happens?
Me and Felicia.
Okay. Okay. So we've gone over, I have to sometimes make sure I've covered everything. Oh, and I'm going to go back to this in a little bit. I want to talk about the therapist that comes in and stuff like that, but let me finish this first. Rose has gone to work.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are kind of in and out of the bedroom, it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
You had checked on him around 7.
Mm-hmm.
She had gone out to feed him, given him his meds. She's eating herself.
Mm-hmm.
You go to the bathroom, you come out to kind of give him a hard time. And that's when you see he's puked everywhere.
Yeah.
You're going to clean him up.
And then I listened to him, and there was nothing. And then I started screaming and crying and yelling. And then she came out, and then she automatically started to get his oxygen thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was out here already called 911. So.
Okay. Pretty quick. And then the paramedics come?
And they came like in 2 minutes.
Okay. And then what goes on from there? Do you guys go to the hospital?
No, they come in, and again, I guess they was trying to revive him.
Okay.
And they put him on oxygen. I don't know at the moment, because there was so many people in the apartment.
Yeah.
You really couldn't see what was going on. They told us to stay back so they can let them work. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if they had got a pulse, supposedly.
You think they got a pulse?
I think that's what they said.
Okay.
And we kept asking what was wrong with him. Is he gonna have to be on oxygen? I think they hooked him up to oxygen, but I don't know if he ever started breathing or anything. So then then they leave. Then they interview us, asking us questions.
So when they leave, they take Elijah with them?
Mm-hmm. They take him right to Memorial.
Okay, and do you guys go with him, or does Felicia go with him?
No, we don't go. Well, she don't get an ambulance with him, but they hurried up and rushed him out. And then we after the cops got done talking to us or whatever, that's when we left to go to Memorial.
Why doesn't she go in the ambulance with him?
I don't know.
And sometimes it depends on how severe and stuff. Sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know. I know the cops were talking to her, and he was saying that she needed. There were some investigators that were supposed to come over there or something like that.
Okay. And then you guys head to the hospital.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We got to the hospital, and then we went through the emergency room area, and they gave us the little stickers to go to the bag. And then I think I'm on the phone with my mom, and I told her I called her right back. And that's when I heard a lot of crying and screaming, and then the doctor came in, and Felicia was crying, so I started asking him questions like, what caused him to do that? Was he breathing when they brought him here? And he said that he wasn't, and that he was dead. He said that they tried to give him all types of medication, but his heart just wouldn't do anything.
Okay. How do you guys get to the hospital?
Her neighbor, this girl that we know, drove us there.
Okay. 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 Since Elijah's been released from the hospital and at the house, have you guys had any other issues like this happening with him?
Never.
Ever seen him vomit since he's been out of the hospital?
Never. Because normally when he burps, there's like this little tube thing that you connect to the G tube.
Okay.
That when he does burp, it just comes out of the tube.
Okay.
But I don't know.
No other issues vomiting? Or any other issues where you've had to call 911?
Never. This is the first time.
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay. And then I just have to ask some basic questions too. We talked about anybody drinking last night?
Nobody drank anything last night.
Okay. Illegal drug use by anybody?
No.
How about smoking in the home?
No.
Okay. How do you guys discipline him?
Who, Elijah?
Mm-hmm.
I don't discipline him.
Does Felicia?
Are you asking like discipline before he got into the situation?
No.
He was
after?
in? After? No.
Okay.
I'm thinking, No.
Any discipline since he's been out of the hospital? How about Rose? Okay.
Never.
Okay. Tell me how Felicia's been handling this happening to her son. I mean, not the death, but this whole abuse incident and having to go to Florida and...
She was really upset, like very upset. She was crying, and she just wanted to know why he did what he did to him, because that's his only child. He doesn't have any more kids.
Okay.
And she just wanted answers, but she was very upset. But I think after, like, knowing that he was actually going to make it and be fine, she was still kind of stressed out just a little, but she was doing okay. She had all her family lives in Florida, so she had all her family and friends and support from Rose and me, so she was doing really good.
Okay. Because it's got to be hard to take care of him.
It is.
And how does she handle that?
She did really good. Like when we have to go to like appointments and stuff, the nurse goes with us.
Okay.
So the nurse is with us every time we have an appointment on a weekday.
She ever get frustrated or
the nurse
just overwhelmed? No, Felicia.
No, if she does, she doesn't show it.
Okay. How about you? Because you're really helping out too.
Yeah.
How do you handle it?
I just take it day by day. I don't know. We all have like so much stuff on our plate. It's just like, ugh.
And that's what it sounds like. It sounds like, I mean, you've got your own personal issues with your children.
Yeah.
That you're trying to take care of.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like you're taking a lot of care of Elijah, too.
Right. So, I don't know. I don't mind helping her. But
What did you think of all of this?
I was shocked because I was like, he came, we picked him up. He didn't seem like there was anything wrong with him. He acted totally like normal. He was getting along with everybody.
This is the dad, Wilfred?
The dad.
Okay.
And I was just like, at first I was like, you're lying. She was like, no, I'm serious. And then she actually sent me a picture. And I was like, wow. I was just shocked. I didn't know what to say because when we met him, he was like, cool, quiet. He wasn't really quiet. He talked to everybody, but he just didn't look like a person that would actually like do something like that.
Okay.
But I don't know.
So.
And then now that he's gone, it's like, okay, I just checked on you not too long ago. I even came here to bother you, and he wasn't breathing. And my mind just went crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. I don't know.
It's a lot.
It is.
It's a lot to deal with.
It is. It's very stressful.
Yeah. I have to ask you this. Did anybody do anything to Elijah
No.
that was inappropriate or?
No. The only thing she did was give him his normal feedings and his medication.
Okay. Did you see anybody hit him?
No.
Punch him in any way, kick him, throw him?
Nope.
Okay.
None of that.
Has he had any accidents where he's fallen out of bed or out of his wheelchair?
No, none of that.
Anybody drop him when they were moving him? Any accidents with the bathtub when they've been bathing him that you know of?
No. Not that I know of, no.
Okay, so no accidents where he could have gotten hurt?
None.
Okay. Anything intentional where he could have gotten hurt?
None.
Okay. Okay. And then you talked about therapists. See, I knew I would forget to go back there.
Yes, he has a therapist that come there, a physical therapist that comes there to do like exercise with him and try to teach him how to swallow.
Okay. How often does
it? I think she comes on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Do you know the name?
Mary Beth.
Mary Beth?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the whole name or?
I believe that's her whole name.
Okay,
I'm
so
not
Beth
sure.
being her last name?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what company she's with?
MGA.
MGA, same thing? Okay. Does he have other therapists that come in?
Those are she's the only person that I know that comes there.
Okay.
And besides the nurses.
Okay, so you got the nurses, Jean and Jen, and then Mary Beth, the physical therapist.
Mm-hmm. And then there's only one guy, like the guy for, I think the manager or the supervisor or something from MGA, or no, not MGA, but he's for the medical supplies or whatever.
Okay. Is that for like the oxygen or like the tubes and stuff? Okay.
All that stuff.
He comes in too?
He only comes in there when they run out of something.
Okay.
So he drops the things off.
When's the last time he was there?
I believe last week. I don't remember the day, but I believe it might have been last week.
Okay.
I think he dropped off a box or something. Something they ordered. I don't know.
Okay.
But I believe it was last week.
Okay. How often does he go see the doctor?
He just went on the 22nd or 23rd to Peak Vista.
Okay. Do you know who his doctor is?
I don't remember what her name is.
Okay, but that's where his doctor was
at Peak Vista. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the last doctor's appointment he had was at Peak Vista on the 22nd, 23rd.
Right.
And how did that go?
It went really good. He was having like issues with his temperatures.
Okay.
Sometimes they'll be kind of high.
Mm-hmm.
I think the highest it ever been was probably like 103-ish.
Okay.
But it wasn't like every day.
Okay.
like kind of like every other day, but then it'll go down.
Okay.
And sometimes he'll have them at night, or he'll have them in the daytime. So they had drew some blood from him to make sure he have no infections or anything, and got some stuff from his trach to make sure that his mucus wasn't, I guess, a certain color.
Okay.
To make sure he didn't have any infections inside his trach. I forgot what it's called, tracheitis or something like that. I'm not sure.
Did they get the results back from that stuff?
They did, and I think they came back negative, but they gave her some type of antibiotic just recently that she picked up. I believe it was this week. We picked it up either Wednesday or Tuesday from the medicine shop off of Union. And he was taking that, but that was...
Do you know how many meds does he take?
He had one for... He take medicine for his... He was taking meds for his... They said that he had seizures or something. This was out in Orlando that they said this stuff.
Okay.
So they gave him Klonopin. That's the seizure medicine. And then they gave him this stuff for his tongue. What is it that the babies have? The little white stuff.
Oh.
Thrush or something. Thrush.
I think you're right. Uh-huh.
That, something for that. And then the antibiotic that he had just started. And then, besides Tylenol, ibuprofen, just in case he has a fever.
Okay. So he's actually not on that much stuff.
No, he's not.
He was just on the seizure medication? And how often did he get that seizure medication?
I believe every 12 hours.
Okay. So is that the meds she would have been giving him this morning?
Yes.
Okay. Every 12 hours. And then the thrush, is that... now, let me ask you. Let me go back to the Klonopin before I move on. The Klonopin medication, seizure medication, how do you give that to him?
Through his G-tube.
Okay. Is it liquid?
Yes.
Okay.
All of it. All his medication is liquid.
Okay. And that's given through the G-tube.
And then I forgot one more.
Uh-huh.
There was one for like constipation or something.
Okay.
I forgot what the name of it was. I don't know what the name of it was, but it was a liquid.
Okay.
That was prescribed by the doctor.
Okay.
And then I think when we picked up the antibiotic, they gave her some suppositories. But I don't know if she used them or not.
Okay. So we've got the Klonopin for the seizures, every 12 hours, liquid through the G-tube. Mm-hmm. He's got an issue possibly with thrush on his tongue. Mm-hmm. And how would he, is that a liquid medication too?
Liquid. I think she told us that we could pour it on, the doctor said you could pour it on a rag and just whop it on his tongue.
Okay. So that wasn't given through the G-tube?
No.
Okay. And was that like every 12 hours or just when needed? Or
I think it was 4 times a day.
4 times a day? Was it prescribed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then we have the antibiotic he just started after taking his blood work and checking his trach and stuff for infections because of the fever.
And I think the nurse started giving it to him. I don't know if it was Monday or Tuesday that we picked the medicine up, but I know she was giving it to him 10 to 10. So she would give it to him at 10 in the morning, the first nurse, and then the next nurse would give it to him at 10 o'clock at night.
So basically every 12 hours, twice a day kind of thing?
Right.
Okay. And then we have Tylenol or ibuprofen when needed.
Mm-hmm.
And then the constipation medication, how do you give that to him?
G-tube.
Okay, and is that prescribed too?
It is.
Okay. It's not an over-the-counter or anything?
No.
Okay. And how often would he get that?
I don't know how often they gave that to him. I'm not sure.
Was it an everyday thing, you think? Or?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't really give him his medicine.
Okay.
So.
And then she also got some suppositories when she picked up the antibiotic.
Right.
Not sure if she's used them though.
Right.
Okay. Did you ever give him his meds?
I usually give it to him between 6. I give it to him at 6, and then I feed him at 6. So I give him the medicine and feed him. And I would give him the medicine through the G-tube.
Okay.
The nurses actually showed me how to actually do it. So they actually trained me a little bit.
Okay. So they've shown you what to do.
Right. And that was the only thing that I did besides doing, like, changing the trach and all that stuff. I didn't want to do that stuff.
Okay. So you would feed him, give him his meds through his G-tube, and then help out with cleaning up every once in a while the diapers.
Changing the diaper. That stuff I can do.
But anything more than that?
I did. I mean, she showed me, but I never actually did it.
Okay.
So.
And when you would feed him at 6, what meds would you give him?
Just the clozapine for the seizure.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Just the seizure med?
Just the seizure meds.
Okay. Yeah, he's not really on that much. I guess I expected more.
He's not. But he was doing really good.
What was his prognosis? What did they think was going to happen? Or what were they expecting or hoping? Or
Well, she told me on the phone when I was out in Texas and she was in Orlando. She told me that when they came and talked to her, when she first got there, that they told her that he wasn't gonna make it, and so they were trying to get her to pull the plug. I guess the same day or the next day, and told him that he was severely brain damaged. I guess I don't know, either on the right side or the left side.
Okay.
And I think they told her that he had a few strokes in his brain.
Okay.
And that his brain stem was like really messed up or something like that. I don't know. But
so he wasn't supposed to make it. Okay.
Yeah. But he actually did.
And now what were the doctors thinking?
She really hadn't really told me anything more about what the doctors have said. I knew that he had a actual appointment to see a neurologist 3 months from now. But they said apparently they thought he was doing very well because they discharged him from the hospital.
Okay.
Oh, my stomach.
Okay. Okay. Did anything happen this morning out of the ordinary at the house?
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay. Anybody get upset with him for any reason?
No.
Anyone ever feel like this is too much to handle? Did anyone ever say that at all?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay. Okay. Anything else you think I need to know? Did I forget anything? What did he normally eat when you fed him through his G-tube? You said
Just
Ensure.
milk.
Just the Ensure?
Just Ensure. Because he couldn't really actually swallow. Or chew because he had the trach there, so.
He went through his G-tube.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
And how often were his feedings?
I know he had overnight feedings. I'm not really sure. I was only just sticking to the 6 to 9.
Okay.
So all the other feeding schedules, either the daytime nurse would do it because she's there all day.
Okay.
And then I would just do what Felicia tells me to do, which is feed him 1 can of milk at 6 and give his medicine at 6. And then flush him out with 50 cc's of water after he get done eating, and that's it. Those are the only feedings that I did. Anything else was being done by the nurses. Okay. So I really didn't give him any feeding during the mornings or at nights besides at 6 when they're not there. So.
Did Felicia ask you for your help in this, or did you go and tell her you'd help, or how'd that work?
She asked me,
and
I told her that I would. So.
Yeah.
And out of all the people that we talk to or hang out with, she trusts me more than anybody that we talk to.
How'd you feel about helping her out?
I was just like, okay. I mean, I didn't have nothing to do, and I was like, I can help you out as much as you need. So.
Okay. I had another question I forgot. Okay. I think that's everything. Would he get juice or water or anything like that?
No.
Just the Ensure?
Just the Ensure. I mean, he gets water, but he gets it through the G-tube.
Okay.
Only when to they only give him water to flush out his mess and then flush after he eats.
Okay. To keep the tube clean.
Yeah, that's the only time he gets water.
Okay. 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 Anything else? Let's see. We've covered how you know the family and your history with them, how you came out here, and what happened last night and today, and I can't think of anything else. Can you sit tight while you'll make sure I've asked you everything?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you need another drink? Or are you okay?
Oh, no, I'm fine.
You sure is 3 enough?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm just making sure.
pretty good.
But if you need another soda, really just let me know.
Okay.
Okay. So give me just a second, make sure I've asked you everything I need to ask you, and then I'll figure out what's going on with those two as well.
Okay.
Okay?
Alrighty.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I have 3 more questions, which will probably turn into 8 as I'm talking to you.
Okay.
But then I'm going to get you back with Felicia and Rose, okay? What kind of bedding was on the bed? His bed?
There was a sheet. It was like a regular mattress. There was I think it was a fitted sheet on the bed, on the mattress.
What color?
It was like a gray, maybe like gray, a little bit of blue.
Okay.
Light. It's like a light blue.
Okay.
The sheets were silk. And then he had like the end of the bed, like his little blanket. But he mostly covered up with the blanket that they had him at the hospital with.
I saw like a blue fleece one.
Yeah.
With that, and had some kind of design on it, like was it balls or cars or something?
Yeah. I think it was like balls of cars. That's what he usually sleep with.
Okay.
Is
Was that blanket?
Mm-hmm.
So we have a gray and a light blue fitted sheet.
Mm-hmm.
And then, is there another sheet on top of that one?
No. There's like on the little mattress thing on the bed. There was like the mattress and there's like padding already over it.
Okay.
And so they just covered that up, but he lays on top of the sheet and covered it up with one of the blankets that the hospital gave him.
Okay.
And that was one that they gave him at the hospital.
That blue one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we have a gray blue fitted sheet, and then you said something about silk?
Yeah, the sheet itself is silk.
Oh, okay, the gray and blue one?
Yeah.
Okay, does he have a sheet on top of him too?
No. He
Okay,
just
just
sleep
the
with
blanket. Okay. And then you said it's kind of like, I kind of think of it as a donut kind of pillow. Is it to keep the pressure on?
No, it's like a small little, it's not like a donut, it's just like a little pillow. You know,
Okay.
like those little baby pillows like you would put in like a baby crib or something with with their name on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's something like that.
Okay, just
But
a
it has-
smaller
it's-
pillow?
Yeah, it's like kind of, it's really soft. I don't know what's in the inside of it, but
What color is it?
it's small, it's white, and it has like a whole bunch of little colors on there. He got it at the hospital at Memorial, I think.
Okay. So it's white with a bunch of colors on there.
Mhm.
Okay, and that's the one he had thrown up on too.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other bedding on the bed?
No, he has like a little blanket there. I think has like airplanes on it.
Okay.
But he doesn't cover it with it. It's just like at the foot
Okay.
of the bed, folded up.
Okay. And then this pump. Describe for me this pump that was being used.
It's the bottom of it is like green, look like a little balloon.
Okay.
And then I think it has like a little, I don't know if it has like a little hook thing at the end of it that that sticks on top of his trach. I don't know if it goes in the mouth, on top of the trach. I don't know how she was using it, but that's what it is.
Did she use that today
She tried to use it on him.
after you found out he had vomited?
To give him oxygen.
Okay.
And then when I called 911, they told her to pick him up and put him on the floor.
Okay. Did she use it any time after that?
No.
Okay. So before, as you're calling 911, she's using that on him. And it sounds like it's portable.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Does it plug into anything?
No.
Okay. So it's
Doesn't
just
plug into
a
anything.
medical piece of equipment that's got a green balloon on it that you squeeze and you can help give somebody oxygen with.
Right.
Does it actually have a mask on it?
I don't know if they have a mask. I didn't really like look at it.
Okay.
I just know that it was green because it's not a loud color green, but it sticks out.
Okay. And she used that though while you were on the phone with 911?
Right. And
Okay.
then they told her to pick him up and put him on the floor. So,
Okay. And then it wasn't used after that?
no.
Okay. And my last one. See, I told you this is how it turns into 8 questions. This morning, you said Felicia went to feed him and give him his meds.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know anything about her holding back his feeding today?
No. Is that what she said?
Did you actually see her feeding him today?
I didn't see her actually feed him, but when she got up to go in there, that's what she normally does, is feed him and keep him on the same schedule that the nurses have him. I didn't actually see her feed him, but she told me she fed him.
She told you after she had fed him?
Yeah, that she fed him today. So I don't know.
Do you know anything about her saying anything that he was too full?
She said that she, the only thing she can think of was maybe that he was too full. And I was like, I don't know. But even when he get his regular when the nurses are there and they give him, you know, his regular beatings when it's supposed to, like she was doing this morning, they don't never have a problem. So I don't know what.
So you didn't actually see her feed him this morning, but she went to go feed him, and she had told you after that she had fed him. Mm-hmm. Did she tell you there were any issues with the feeding? No?
She told me no issues. I don't know, it's just kind of strange because when the nurses are there, like, nothing happens.
And then today, did she mention him that he may have been too full? Or is this after?
I think this was after, I'm not quite sure. Because all I said to her was, well, maybe, I was like, I don't know what made him vomit. Maybe he had gas or his stomach was hurting. Maybe he was full. I don't know, but even when the nurses feed him in the morning times, and he's been on the same feeding schedule since he got to the hospital, he has never, you know, got sick or.
So this is the first time.
So I don't know what caused him to throw up.
And it sounds like you have this conversation after he vomits, after calling 911. Okay. Prior to that, though, before you finding him vomited, did she have any concerns about Elijah, him being gassy or too full, or?
None of that stuff.
Okay.
Nothing.
No concerns.
No concerns.
Okay. Okay. Any questions for me?
No, I don't think I have any questions.
Okay. We are doing a search warrant on the house, just to make sure we cover everything. So at this point, you cannot go back to the house until we're done.
Okay.
Okay. So I hope you have somewhere else to go.
Okay.
Okay. And then what the plan is a detective's going to call, I think, Felicia or Rose or someone, and let you guys know when we're done, so when you can return. Okay. Because we don't want to keep you out of your house forever. We just need some more hours to finish what we need to do. Okay. And Felicia and Rose are waiting for you.
Alrighty.
Please keep my card.
Okay.
If you remember anything else, please call me.
Okay.
It's that easy to add to the report. I just say, hey, you know, is it Chastity?
Right.
Okay. Called me on this date and time and said she wanted to tell me this, this, and this, and it's that easy.
Okay.
It's not a major deal. Any information you can give us is helpful.
Okay.
So call us with anything you think you forgot to tell us or something you remember. Please just call me and let me know.
Okay.
It's that easy.
Alrighty.
Okay, and then we will call you guys when we're done with the house and go from there.
Okay.
And I already told you we're kind of working with Florida on this.
Okay.
So, okay.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you.
Just go to the
We're going to the left here again. I think they're up here in the lobby.